A very good afternoon. It's the 20th of July 2023. Welcome to the lunchtime news here on TV1. For the News First team, I'm Senita Senanayaka. Before we take a look at the stories in detail, let's take a look at the headlines. President to leave for India on a 2-day official visit. A member of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China in Sri Lanka. Parliament debates Sri Lanka's health crisis. Wild elephants destroy 10 houses in Madarikiriya within a week. Merrill Fernando, the founder of Dilma, who devoted his life to tea, passes away. Russia's decision to treat ships heading for Ukrainian ports as potential military targets hikes wheat prices. Saud Shakil's double ton sets up easy win for Pakistan. On to your top story this afternoon. President Ranil Wickremesinghe will fly to India this afternoon for an official 2-day visit. During the visit, he will meet President Draupadi Murmu and hold discussions with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other Indian dignitaries on a range of issues of mutual interest.
During his visit to India, the President is also scheduled to meet some of India's top diplomats. The Minister of Foreign Affairs announced that the President's visit will further enhance long-term bilateral relations between the two countries. The President also met the representatives of the Tamil political parties in Parliament on Tuesday to discuss a series of matters.
Yuan Zhiazhang, a member of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China, arrived to the island for a visit.
Yuan Zhiazhang, a member of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China, is set to visit Sri Lanka until the 23rd of July. Yuan Zhiazhang also serves as the Secretary of the Chongqing City Council in China, highlighting his prominent role in Chinese politics.
Sri Lankan opposition leader Sajid Premadasa questioned the government over the short supply of medicines necessary for caesarean surgery at the Galle Hospital and the overall crisis the country's health sector is facing. The directress of the Galle Teaching Hospital, Dr. SMP Karunaratne, has revealed of a very serious situation.
Inadequate stocks of heavy marcaine to conduct elective caesarean section. Caesarean satcam walta avashya heavy marcaine kiyana.
She says that the heavy marcaine drug, which is necessary for caesarean surgery, is in short supply at the Galle Teaching Hospital. She says only 7 vials of this drug is left. These vials are being maintained for extremely essential requirements. Therefore, caesarean surgeries have been suspended at the Galle Teaching Hospital. What is the reason for the short supply? Is it the lack of funds? Is it the inefficiency of the government? The Finance Ministry has given top priority to release funds for medicines and medical requirements. This decision is around the internal memo that was issued by the directress of the Galle Teaching Hospital. She should have directed it to the Medical Supplies Division. There is no report of a short supply of the heavy marcaine drug. We have obtained a stock of 30,000 vials. This is a direct attack on the free healthcare system. I am not a person who was put out by the Supreme Court for importing substandard goods. I am ready to respond to these allegations and I have extended an invitation for that. Bring back the motion of no confidence or a debate. Normally, a notice is given to the minister, but I have not received any. I am not inconveniencing the health sector. Did I write this letter? It is from the directress of the Galle Teaching Hospital. Meanwhile, a patient who was receiving treatment at the Kegel General Hospital has died after he experienced an allergic reaction after he was administered antibiotics. Director of the Kegel General Hospital, Dr. Mihiri Priyangani, says that the post-mortem reports revealed that the antibiotics in the patient's system were the cause of his death.
The antibiotics were administered to the patient 13 times previously, and when he was administered the drug for the 14th time, he developed an allergic reaction. The deceased was admitted to the Kegel General Hospital on the 10th of July for treatments for cirrhosis. He developed the allergic reaction on the 17th of July and died on the 18th of July while receiving treatment at the ICU. He was a 57-year-old resident of Kegel. The director of the Kegel General Hospital says the Minister of Health was informed about the incident.
Convening a media briefing on Thursday, the Coalition of Physicians' Unions on Medicine and Civil Rights expressed the following views regarding the health issue in the country.
We saw Additional Secretary of the Health Ministry, Saman Ratnayaka, admitted that 2 out of all the medicines that were imported within the last 2 months contained bacteria. Therefore, they were substandard. However, if he had checked the website of the Medical Services Unit, which falls under his purview, he would have not lied to the people like this. Medicines, medical equipment imported by the Health Ministry up to this date are on this website. It shows that close to 500 medicines have been removed from use owing to the suspicions of patient complications and other issues.
The Movement for People's Council commented on the drug issue.
The doctors of the country said that 150 essential medicines are unavailable in the hospitals. The minister said that there was no such issue. The same person told 3 or 4 days ago that 199 types of medicines are unavailable. Even if you get a disease, even if the whole society gets a disease, we have to undergo anesthesia with the fear that anesthesia will be done for the rest of our lives, one of which was the vaccine that killed the girl. They bring fake drugs, inferior drugs. They put the chunk of money in their pockets and give it to their friends, and they make fun of us when people of the country die, saying in parliament that funeral parlors are built to go when you die.
Former JVP Provincial Councillor Samantha Vidyaratna expressed the following views regarding the health issue in the country.
Prices of fuel were increased. Fuel queues disappeared once the QR code was introduced. Electricity prices were hiked. Without the intervention of the government, people started cutting down on the usage of electricity. Now the government does not have money to import medicine. The government got it wrong twice or thrice. They used substandard medicine. The people got scared and stopped coming to hospitals. Ranil and the Rajapakshas must be thinking that Sri Lankans are like mice. Why are they giving poison to the people? Let's try giving that to Kehelia and Ranil. Is that a bad proposal? The end result of this is to dismantle the free healthcare system. In the end, everyone will have to be getting treatments from private hospitals. That will cut down the costs for health, and for them, that is solving the problem. Sri Lanka police said that the man who was killed in a shootout with the police special task force in Horan Palace, Minuwangoda, was a shooter responsible for a murder. Police spokesperson SSP Nihal Taldua told News First that the man was the chief suspect in the incident where a man was shot dead in near the Galle Prison on the 20th of June 2023.
The police special task force launched an operation on Wednesday night to arrest the chief suspect wanted for shooting dead a man in Homagama a month ago. Sri Lanka police said that the suspect had opened fire at the police STF personnel and the STF officers had returned fire. During the shootout, one STF officer was injured and admitted to the Gampaha hospital for treatment. The suspect, who was also injured, died upon admission to the Minuwangoda hospital. The suspect was identified as 29-year-old Kasun Lakshita Silva. Sri Lanka police said that the suspect was a deserter of the Sri Lanka Navy and was linked to multiple criminal gangs.
In more local news, an inmate at the Galle Prison suffered stab wounds following an altercation between 2 factions on Wednesday night. The inmate was identified as Sujit Prasanna, aka Anta, from Koskoda, and he was hospitalized for treatment.
Commissioner General of Prisons Tushar Puldenia said that 4 inmates attacked Sujit Prasanna with a sharp weapon. Sujit Prasanna was admitted to the Karapite Teaching Hospital for treatment. The inmate in question was also the target of a shooting that took place in Galvehera Ahungalle on the 10th of September 2022. In June 2023, he was arrested by the Police Special Task Force on the charge of heroin possession.
The Palliyagodalla village in Madirigiriya Polonnaruwa is one of the many villages threatened by encroaching wild elephants.
3 houses in the Palliyagodalla village in Madirigiriya Polonnaruwa were destroyed by wild elephants that entered the village on Wednesday night. According to the villagers, more than 10 houses met the same fate last week alone. The Minister of Wildlife and Forest Conservation, Pavitra Vanyarachi, elaborated on the steps taken to prevent the human-elephant conflict. She was speaking at a press conference held at the Presidential Media Centre.
We need
to build elephant fences up to a length of 1,650 kilometers, out of which 1,000 kilometers are left to build. Given the economy and the lack of human resources in the country, we might need more time to build fences around the country. Further, for its maintenance, we are planning to recruit around 3,000. For the Department of Multipurpose Development Task Force, and government has also given the approval for this. Just building the fence won't be enough, but its maintenance is also crucial.
News
first with the people.
An icon in the Sri Lankan tea industry, Merrill J. Fernando, the founder of Dilma Tea, passed away on Thursday morning. He will be buried at a private event on Saturday in Negombo.
The world of tea mourns the loss of an iconic figure as Merrill J. Fernando, the visionary founder of Dilma Tea, peacefully passed away at the age of 93. Fernando was well known for building a tea empire under the Dilma brand on passion, quality and unmatched love for tea. The Dilma family tweeted that Merrill J. Fernando passed away surrounded by family, adding that his generation will follow as he rests in the arms of his Lord. The trailblazing entrepreneur was credited with taking single-origin Sri Lankan tea to over 100 countries worldwide, leaving behind a remarkable legacy in the global tea industry. Having laid the foundation of Dilma Tea in the early 1970s, Merrill J. Fernando revolutionized the tea industry by introducing the concept of single-origin Ceylon tea. More than just a business venture, Dilma Tea became a reflection of Merrill J. Fernando's deep-rooted passion for tea and his desire to share the distinct flavors of Sri Lanka with the world. Beyond his commercial success, Merrill J. Fernando was also known for his philanthropic endeavors. His dedication to maintaining the integrity of Ceylon tea and uplifting the lives of those involved in its production earned him the respect of not just tea aficionados, but also the admiration of Sri Lanka and the global tea community.
In international news, wheat prices have risen sharply on global markets after Russia said it would treat ships heading for Ukrainian ports as potential military targets.
Foreign media reports Moscow pulled out of a deal this week that had guaranteed safe passage for grain shipments through the Black Sea. A White House spokesperson accused Russia of planning to blame Ukraine for attacks on civilian ships. Russia's President Vladimir Putin said he would return to the grain agreement immediately if his demands were met. They include reconnecting Russia's agricultural bank to a global payment system. According to a local official, a Russian airstrike on the Ukrainian port city killed an unknown number of people on Wednesday night. Other airstrikes were reported on the port of Odessa. Russian-backed officials also said a drone strike in Russian-controlled Crimea killed a teenage girl. Following previous airstrikes around Odessa this week, Ukraine's president accused Russia of deliberately targeting grain export infrastructure and putting vulnerable countries at risk.
Finally, in your sports news, Pakistan took a 1-0 in the two-match series on Thursday as Saud Shakil's double century in the first innings set up a convincing 4-wicket win against Sri Lanka in Galle.
Chasing a target of 131, Imamul Haq remained unbeaten on 50, while Salman Ali Agha hit the winning 6 to remain not out on 6. On Wednesday, they lost 3 wickets in a tricky 131-run chase on day 4 after spinners Norman Ali and Abra Ahmed helped them bowl Sri Lanka out for 279. The tourists reached 48 for 3 at stumps in Galle, needing another 83 to take the lead in the two-match series.
Absolutely stunning innings on a very, very tough pitch. Sweep shot and taken. Agha Salman buried brilliantly in the first inning.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of Lunchtime News here on TV1. For the News First team, I've been Senitha Senanayake. Take care and stay safe.